Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is CRYPTIDS, and guess what? It's October 1st, 2025. And this is my cool thing that I'm going to show you at the beginning of my episode. This is a original, an OG, working, functional Pip-Boy from the game Fallout 4. Sorry, I got a little confused there. I was going to say Fallout 3, which is my favorite, one of my favorites, but this is a Fallout 4 Mark V Pip-Boy 3000. And this used to be worth $4,000. I don't know what it's worth today because they released the die-cast versions of this Pip-Boy, which I would love to get my hands on. But in addition to this really cool Pip-Boy, we have really cool mugs, courtesy of one of our fans. This is it's a ghost mug, and it's got my coffee in it. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, let's watch some ghost videos.
When Amelia moved into her home, she was over the moon with it, but she knew it needed a few renovations. One of the main culprits was a particularly rattly floorboard, but when she lifted it up to try and nail it down properly, she saw something that stopped her in her tracks.
Whoa. I noticed that there's nothing actually holding this floor.
Yeah, house secrets! I wish I could have some house secrets. She's gonna lift up that board, probably gonna have like a Ouija board, or some kind of stupid, like, maybe like a, I don't know, crucifix or something under there. But you know what'd be really cool is if you lifted up that floorboard and you found like a time capsule, maybe wrapped up like lunchbox, and inside that lunchbox were like, maybe like Pokemon cards from the 1990s, or like a He-Man action figure from the 1990s, or literally anything else from the 1990s that was super Pogs. I have Pogs. You saw those last couple weeks ago. I don't know. Or like maybe like somebody's like super like cool Beyblades.
Down, so when you walk on it, it rattles a lot. So I looked underneath the floorboard to see where I could like nail it down again. But I had to get my camera out because, can you see that? That looks like something buried to me. It's wedged under the old floorboards. I don't know what that is. Oh. Oh man, that's awesome. I'll be able to get this out. I'm gonna have to cut this because I'm gonna need both hands to get this out because it is like wedged in there. Okay, so I think it's coming out. It looks like it's got gold on it. Oh, it's coming. Whoa. It is filthy. How long do you reckon that was in there for? It's definitely a book, but they're not like actual pages, they're like really thick. Alright, I'm gonna have to open this on camera. I'm gonna clean this up because I don't want to breathe this in and make another video.
Photo album, 100% that's a photo album. You know what? It's something that people used to do when they were renovating their houses or building like new houses, was to sort of put a time capsule inside the floorboards or inside the walls. You'll find that sometimes when you're like doing renovations on an old like Victorian house or something like that, or like sort of like an older house. Anyway, the point is they pull the walls down, and inside the wall are like bundled up newspapers from the current time. And a lot of homeowners will do that because like it's like really neat, right? Like for the future people. Sometimes you find people who put skeletons in the wall with like, you know, handyman outfits on, like, you know, super fun. But you're gonna be boarding it up. You're gonna be like closing off that wall forever. Why wouldn't you hide something in the wall? An eagle, or was it the Cask of Montiago or something, where he like casket up his friend in the, or like, you know, hid his friend in the wall. Point is, yeah, I guarantee you most places that you live, there are things in the wall. Hell, when I was a kid, we had a hole in our wall from our from the door swinging open, and we stuff like Hot Wheels cars, and like I guarantee you, if no one's torn that wall out yet, that wall is completely filled, probably half filled with toys that we just shoved in the wall. Anything from the 1990s, like it would have been like, you know, like Beanie Babies when they were like really small Beanie Babies, and like, you know, Star Wars action figures, whatever we wanted. I would probably even put the Borg in the wall if as far as I'm aware. Point is, you're going to find a lot of cool stuff like this. This one looks like a photo album, so I'm going to hazard a guess to say that the people who previously owned this house and were renovating the house or building the house even took pictures of the process. The people who used to live there, you know, family history, and stuck it in the floor to like commemorate that sort of the time they lived there. And I guarantee these guys are going to paint that as like a really creepy thing, but it's really sweet. It's a nice thing to do. Especially if this house was owned by family and were passed down generation to generation for families. Imagine if your great-great-great-grandparents lived in this house and you're like ripping up the floorboards because you're going to replace them or doing some renovations, and you find like a trove of relic, like of your ancestors' pictures. It would be such an amazing thing. I guarantee you they're going to play it off like it's some sort of supernatural or like creepy thing, but it's very sweet. Unless it's an album full of dead people, that might be creepy. Let's find out.
Curious as ever, she cleaned up the book and took a look inside. But that is when things started to take quite a sinister turn.
What I found hidden under the floorboards of a 250-year-old house.
It's wedged under the old floorboards. Whoa. It's definitely a book, but they're not like actual pages. They're like...
Yeah, come on, we already saw this.
Really thick. It's so weird.
Let's see what was inside. The book seemed normal at the start, filled with old portraits. But things took a creepy turn the further I went into the book. I noticed what seemed like a very old photo of my house. This is when the pictures took an unsettling turn. The rest of the album is filled with pictures of empty rooms that have an unsettling feeling.
It's unsettling probably because these were photos of the house that were back before it was renovated. This isn't unsettling. This isn't creepy. This is the history of the building that you're in, and respect that. It's an amazing thing. You can't just go and say, oh, that's creepy because there's nobody in that room. You take pictures of your house before and after too. Think of all those TikTok edits now that we're seeing where people are like, you know, pictures of their children growing up in the house and then they're moving out. So it's like this really sad and somber music. Listen, the bottom line is, the tagline for this is, hey, people lived here. Real people shared their memories. They left their memories in the house for you to find and for you to feel the history of that house. It's not creepy at all. It's to say this is what it looked like before. Maybe it looks different now. It's more fascinating than it is creepy. Don't do that, man.
A dark shadow appears in all of these photos.
I'd like to see you take high quality photos before your cell phone had flash. Sorry, cell phone. These are, you know how long it took to take these pictures? They would set up a camera and then do long exposure, burning these into plates and stuff so that you can get your photos. The unsettling shadow that you're seeing is underexposed because that's so far before the advent of our modern technology. This is amazing.
I can't help but think what else could be buried under those floorboards.
I don't know. Can you hear a heartbeat under your floorboards?
I will search for more hidden items.
At first, the pages consisted of Victorian portraits.
Yeah, thanks. We already gathered that from listening to what she said. Moving on.
Why has it got so much wax on it?
You found a sealed wax cylinder and you cracked the seal?
So if you've already seen the other video, I found a book that was hidden under the floorboards. So I've decided to see if there was anything else under the floorboards. So this is what I found so far. There was in fact more coins. Got no idea what this is. If anyone knows what this is, let me know.
Definitely looks like maybe a light socket, probably like an early light bulb socket. You can see the contact on the bottom. There's a twisty knob to say turn on the light, turn off the light. So if I had to guess, it's part of a lamp. Maybe even a kerosene lamp? Like me, kerosene? Carrot to make a scene?
Another coin. I was doing a bit of digging to the right of where the book was, and there does seem to be something else down there which looks quite interesting. Okay. It's got like wax on it. It's got liquid in it.
Yeah, and hopefully that liquid is just perfume.
There's another one there. So that just makes things like 10 times more interesting. Why has it got so much wax on it? It's got cork in it. Oh. I probably shouldn't be doing this on the floors. I'm going to open these downstairs because I'm fairly certain I don't know what's in that. And I'm fairly certain that's got liquid in it as well. Ugh, it stinks as well. Right, I'm going to clean up and open these downstairs. I don't think I want to open this one because I don't have gloves for a start. I'm probably going to catch some like horrible disease or something. Ugh.
Why the hell she would open those is lost on us, but the scariest thing isn't that the vials have been there for ages, it's the fact that they look a lot like the kinds of things used in black magic. Suspicious black liquid, wax seals, all buried under the floor, doesn't exactly sound like harmless fun, does it? And it absolutely wasn't, because this is what started happening in her home after she unearthed all of that history.
Yeah, of course there's a haunting that starts after that. You get some TikTok fame from something and you're going to want to like continue that fame. Yeah, you're going to want to like amp that stuff up. And this is what this girl's about to do. She can be like, now I'm being haunted because I opened the weird vials that I found under my house. And to be honest, it is harmless fun. Maybe the context is lost on you because, you know, it's been quite a few years. But I would hazard a guess to say that the liquid inside those vials was either a perfume or maybe some kind of, you know, maybe even kerosene for the lamp that you found that's unfortunately rusted all to heck, you know. I don't think there's anything dubious going on with those instruments. Okay, so she's talking about some scary footage that she caught, which is basically her walking into this room here and seeing the drapes opening. You can see there's a little bit of a pinch point there where the drapes are moving and then an object falls off the wall. When she approaches the curtain, she pushes the curtain open and we're led to believe there's nobody behind there and there's nothing dubious going on here. However, the curtain seems to have a string that's sewn through it. We can't see it here, but what we can see is if I move it forward ever so slightly, see how swift the motion is. Look, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty good. 6, boom. There seems to be a jump here where a little bit of the perspective shifts. It almost could be, and it's a really smooth transition if that's the case. If she managed to cut the film here, that's pretty impressive. However, there does seem to be a random jump here where there's a frame or a few frames missing. So this could be right here where they injected a cut. We sort of move forward a little bit. She hears a noise behind her and she goes to pan away, and that's it. So if I were to hazard a guess, I would say that she's taken a sewing needle and some thread, put it through the curtain at that point, run the whatever, maybe not the sewing needle, or maybe not the sewing thread, but like something a little thicker, like fishing line, ran it through, and where's my face only? There we go. Ran it through the curtain down towards the baseboard, and somebody's helping her is maybe laying on the floor over there and is pulling on that curtain, and then they just hid the cut where the person had to get up and move right there with that curtain. That's what I would say.
This girl was casually filming bugs in her room, probably expecting nothing more than some gross footage of insects. But then, things took a strange turn. Suddenly, there's an eerie, unfamiliar noise coming from behind her. She spins around, and whatever was just a normal video of bugs becomes something much more unsettling. Take a look.
Currently crawling on my wall. There's 1, 2, and 3. I really have no idea where they all came from.
Couple small things to point out here. If you find ladybugs inside your house, traditionally it's considered good luck. It actually means, you know, that the house is blessed with fertility or blessed with like basically good luck for the year. In some cultures, that is. Second thing is that ladybugs are kind of like an epidemic. So what ends up happening is people will buy like 1,000, frozen ladybugs. They'll keep them in their freezer because they last for quite a while when they're frozen. When they defrost, they come back to life. So people will put them in their gardens. I would hazard a guess to say maybe one of your neighbors took a handful of those, sprinkled them into their gardens to get rid of aphids or any other pests that were affecting their crops. So that's one thing. The second thing is that I remember way back in probably quite a few years ago, somebody in Toronto, I believe, somebody in Toronto ordered one bag of frozen ladybugs. And what ended up happening is the company that was responsible for that shipped him an entire pallet of them. And given the fact that he was in Toronto, there's very small cramped space. He probably only had like a small apartment and just needed a few ladybugs. He ended up not being able to do anything with them. They all defrosted and scourged the entire area with ladybugs. There was a point where you couldn't go a single block in Brampton, in Toronto, in Mississauga without finding fucking droves of ladybugs all over the place, which was hilarious. They're not really too bad because they die off relatively quickly, and to be honest, they don't really affect too much because their main source of food are like aphids and like insect larvae and stuff like that. But it was really funny for a while. My partner is terrified of ladybugs, or beetles for that matter, so I personally find it hilarious. That would be her living nightmare.
It's so annoying. Look at this little dude. Oh, what the oh my god. What the fuck?
Don't ask me how I know this, but I am like relatively certain that was the sound of a picture frame falling off the wall. What it sounded very specifically like was a wooden picture frame with a glass pane in the front falling down onto like a more or less soft, area, or like cushioned area. So I'm gonna say what that sound was you had a framed picture on your wall, it fell off the wall and landed on your carpet. And to be honest, your room is a bloody mess, man. Clean your floor. I know you're probably just a teenager or something, but like, have some respect for yourself and your personal space. First off. Second off, why don't you look for what made the sound? She's got a fan on, okay? So like, that fan probably created an air current and then knocked something off the wall. That's all it is. I don't think there's anything supernatural here, and I'm going to delete the next section of the video because I guarantee you that's all there is. And if you think that that's all you need for a paranormal experience, you're kind of an idiot. As a matter of fact, that was actually all there was. So picture frame falling off the wall while you're recording ladybugs in your house makes the top 100 scariest ghost videos of 2025.
Dogs and cats have a curious relationship with the paranormal.
No, they don't.
They seem to see stuff we can't.
No, they don't.
And often, they are attracted to these events.
No, they're not.
As is the case with this adorable hot dog.
What we chose was the taiga boreal forest, which is located in Russia, northern Canada, and...
But did you catch that?
It's a monkey!
Look behind the window, to the left of the boy's head. What is that? Some intruder outside? Something else? What would you do in such a situation?
Call the zoo!
Picture this.
Being naked in a fridge.
You're working a late night on your farm when suddenly you spot something sus.
I'm sorry, I'm really just trying to farm those like, lower age, like the Zoomers who can't pay attention more than 30 seconds. I know, for you and me, this is getting annoying, but trust me, it works.
Lurking behind the shadows.
Sorry, there's a weird long pause there, and no, pay attention. Pay attention. Subway surfers, pay attention. There was a weird silence. I'm losing you.
You think it's a lost animal who probably needs help. But as you look closer, you see that it isn't an animal.
Okay, there's something clearly wrong here, so I'm just gonna skip to the video.
Well, that escalated quickly, didn't it? The farmer had to go and call all his farmer friends after realizing it wasn't one but many weird creatures. From thinking they were dealing with a stray animal to realizing they were surrounded by a group of bizarre, humanoid figures straight out of a nightmare. With their elongated limbs, unsettling movements, and those impossibly small heads.
all the people, all of the people who are in that clip pretending to be like you creatures or whatever like that are like, hey, fuck you too. To hell. He just like literally roasted everybody. Freakishly long limbs, tiny, disgusting heads. Fuck you, buddy.
It's safe to say this wasn't your average barnyard mystery. Could these be actual cryptids caught on camera, skulking around in the shadows? Or even scarier, a tribe full of people with a peculiar taste for, well, humans?
What the hell led you to that? A peculiar... What? The taste for human flesh? That's a bit presumptuous there, man. I don't know why you think that, but whatever. All I saw were a bunch of probably naked people covered in dirt doing weird things in the field, okay? Oh man, that's wild. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. We're over 20 minutes and I got like so many more to film in the next couple of days to make sure I'm on top of this, filming every single day in October. It is October 1st today and I'm putting out a video in 2 days, which means I have a lot of work to do. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for hitting the like button. If you guys like what you see here, do those things I just said. If you have any suggestions for future content, let me know. If you guys are interested in joining our Discord, you can join the channel just down there below. I think the pseudoscientist level gets you access to the Discord, and talk to Nick about how to actually get into the Discord because he's the wizard who knows all of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Enjoy this outro that Nick made. Peace.
We cracked the code, we broke the spell. Another myth debunked so well. Till next time, don't be deceived. Stay sharp, stay smart. Believe in what's believed. Truth wins out every time. Truth wins out every time.